have a lady that comes on Monday and Thursday for 2 hours in the morning. She's excellent.
Yeah?
I met Margaret through an old coffee shop friend named Max, and he introduced me to her.
Let's see, I met her when I actually came to this church about 25 years ago.
I'm 97, but when I started teaching, I was just 19 when I finished ready to teach. I was 19 the first year I taught.
We have a big falling out in our family. It's been going on for 20 to 30 years. The last time I saw my mom was about 6 years ago. We had basically nothing to say to each other. I mean, I knew she was my mom and everything, but our relationship was so torn that we didn't know what to say to each other, literally. I mean, we hugged each other and everything like that, but we just didn't know what to talk about. And so that was about 6 years ago.
When I first came to the church had just changed pastors. And she had been very, very close to the previous pastor.
Just about 2 months ago, Margaret was encouraging me to write to her and tell her to let her know now that you're a Christian, and just tell her what you're doing in your life.
Even though she'd been very, very close to the former pastor, she never gave any indication that I was not accepted. Didn't have to somehow measure up to a standard that went beyond because of her close relationship with the previous pastor. So I thought that grace extended to me has really set the tone for the relationship that we've enjoyed since then.
And so I did. I decided to go ahead and to do it and just leave the past or whatever else was there out of it. And about a month or so went by, and I thought, oh, she's passed it off, you know, she doesn't want to talk to me. And all of a sudden, one Friday night, I was getting ready to go to worship team, and I looked in my mailbox, and there was a letter from my mom, and she says, oh, what a joy it was to hear from you. You know, I mean, I think maybe I might not have ever seen my mom again if it weren't for Margaret. So she encouraged me there.
Well, I think everybody tells me that I'm an encourager. Everybody tells me that. So I think that's a gift that I have. And I think in encouraging them, maybe my encouragement is that they trust in God, really trust Him. And that has meant more to myself, to a different dimension in the last year, a different dimension of I trust Him more deeply, more fully.
This one may get cut out, but I will tell you about this. Margaret has always enjoyed driving. She's had a great deal of fun behind the wheel. Early on, when we were here at the church and our kids were fairly young, she would often go pick up my wife and kids and bring them to church. I'd come in early, and she would pick them up. And they'd come in time for Sunday school, and more than once, they'd get to the church, and the kids would come and tell me, well, the police pulled us over again. Because she did tend to go a little faster than what the speed limit called for on the way. Now she did repent of that, but she loves to drive, and she loves speed, and I think that again, she keeps that in line, but I think that again is an indication of how she takes joy in little things.
And I enjoy people of all ages. I have friends that are 7 years old, and I have a friend who's almost 101, and all the way along, and I just enjoy people. My highest goal certainly is to glorify God. And I don't keep that in mind all the time, but that's what my life should be about. The number one thing, if you know you're loved, and then you need to love too. You do a great deal for people to love them. Maybe that's the most basic thing, to love them. Love their welfare.
Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome.
Thank you.